You are listening to KSG Podcast. This is a short, crisp, concise, exam oriented, edited editorial for civil services aspirants. In this podcast, we are going to talk about what is fortified rice. Source for the content is Harikishan Sharma's article for the Indian Express. The Union Cabinet on the 8th of April 2022 approved a scheme to distribute fortified rice under government programs. Food Corporation of India and state agencies have already procured 88.65 LMT, that is 88.65 lakh tons of fortified rice for supply and distribution. In last year's Independence Day speech, the Prime Minister had announced the fortification of rice distributed under various government schemes, including the PDS, that is Public Distribution System, and midday meals in schools by 2024. So, what is rice fortification? The Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, that is FSSAI, defines fortification as deliberately increasing the content of essential micronutrients in a food so as to improve the nutritional quality of food and to provide public health benefit with minimal risk to health. Various technologies are available to add micronutrients to regular rice, such as coating, dusting, and extrusion. The last mentioned involves the production of fortified rice kernels, that is FRKs, from a mixture using an extruder machine. It is considered to be the best technology for India. The fortified rice kernels are blended with regular rice to produce fortified rice. So, how does the extrusion technology to produce FRK work? Dry rice flour is mixed with a premix of micronutrients and water is added to this mixture. The mixture is passed through a twin screw extruder with heating zones, which produces kernels similar in shape and size to rice. These kernels are dried, cooled, and packaged for use. FRK has a shelf life of at least 12 months. As per guidelines issued by the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, the shape and size of the fortified rice kernel should resemble the normal milled rice as closely as possible. According to the guidelines, the length and breadth of the grain should be 5 millimeters and 2.2 millimeters respectively. But why does rice have to be fortified in the first place? India has very high levels of malnutrition among women and children. According to the Food Ministry, every second woman in the country is anemic and every third child is stunted. Fortification of food is considered to be one of the most suitable methods to combat malnutrition. Rice is one of India's staple foods, consumed by two-thirds of the population. Per capita rice consumption in India is 6.8 kilograms per month. Therefore, fortifying rice with micronutrients is an option to supplement the diet of the poor. Now, what are the standards for fortification? Under the ministry's guidelines, 10 grams of FRK must be blended with 1 kilograms of regular rice. According to FSSAI norms, 1 kilograms of fortified rice will contain the following: iron, folic acid, and vitamin B12. Rice may also be fortified with zinc, vitamin A, microgram, vitamin B1, vitamin B2, vitamin B3, and vitamin B6 per kg. So, does fortified rice have to be cooked differently? The cooking of fortified rice does not require any special procedure. The rice needs to be cleaned and washed in the normal way before cooking. After cooking, fortified rice retains the same physical properties and micronutrient levels as it had before cooking. Now, what is India's capacity for fortification? At the time of the Prime Minister's announcement last year, nearly 2,700 rice mills had installed blending units for production of fortified rice, and India's blending capacity stood at 13.67 lakh tons in 14 key states, according to figures provided by the ministry. FRK production had increased rapidly from 7,250 tons to 60,000 tons within 2 years. The cost of upgrading an existing rice mill varies in accordance with the volume of fortified rice produced. An investment of 15 to 20 lakh rupees would be required to upgrade a rice mill of operating capacity 4 to 5 tons per hour, the ministry had said last year. The ministry had estimated that the cost of producing FRK with iron, folic acid, and vitamin B12 would be around 60 paisa per kg. Finally, how can a beneficiary distinguish between fortified rice and regular rice? Fortified rice will be packed in jute bags with the logo plus F and the line fortified with iron, folic acid, and vitamin B12. That's it for this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. To join KSG India courses and to crack the IELTS exam, visit ksgindia.com. You can also get a PDF of this podcast on ksgindia.com. Thanks for listening.